All right. Good evening, everybody. So this one's just going to be a little short stream. In fact, I'm actually looking at the dialect for this stream. Moderation. Hopefully, you feel safe. Choose to stay. I don't really give a fuck. Add moderators to the channel. I really don't give a fuck because I have a huge following. But we're going to get right into this. So, what we have basically going on here. I have a couple of examples. I probably found some more. Share the screen. Let's share this tab. But let me go to this first example. I'm trying to do a video on this, but I've just been out there working the grind. It's a little less time, on this channel. And to be honest, like I said in some of the other videos, trying to be a big YouTuber and influencer is really a lot of hard work. You really have to invest a lot of money, really, a lot of money and time to really get off the foot. Let me phrase that. Get your foot off the ground with this. It's not all peaches and cream. And again, like I said before, you have to generate content that's going to grab people's attention. And obviously, judging by the fact that I only have 125 subscribers, thank you, by the way. I do thank my subscribers for subscribing and watching my videos. Hopefully, you can spread it out to your peeps. They can catch this stream. And, again, I know it sounds cliche. I know I do a lot of uploads, but most of my videos are private. I'll discuss that in another one. So this is the first example. So apparently, lawmakers want Google and Apple to remove all the apps tracking immigration agents. So this one we have lawmakers kind of track. And on that's been a back and forth. And I've seen a few other articles about using apps to track ICE agents just so they can hide the undocumented. I'm actually sitting there. I'm gonna fucking type that into my phone just in case it shits. Just see what pops up. I already got too much on my plate to worry about it. What other people are doing with I'm not sure if this is apparently this one Camillus. For the support system that kind of rude. No offense, man. Reporting is only allowed to a 5 kilometer radius. Where did you miss instructions? Read the bus. Jesus. So I'm not sure if that's actually the looking nice track. Really, so I'm not sure where they're hearing about these. Track. Check that out, see if it pulls up with that. There's case tracker, U.S. immigration. Have a nice breaker. Alright, so here's another one. Okay, so obviously when you're downloading these, of course you're gonna get apps. It's just like every other fucking download. Um, Ads are gonna pop up for other apps. I've ran into this while using one app and again pop up for some other one. So again, okay, so I have a police scanner. That's a different product. Migrant tracker. So what I'm seeing is probably we check apps before that. So let's see here. Okay, so these ones are downloaded by immigrants. Police tracker. It's fucking insane. Nice. Agent. Nice agent tracker. So it pops up with that. That's icebreaker. Cool. Okay, so I'm reading the reviews. I'm not going to be downloading this shit. Recognize the steps. Seems this time to reduce stress. I guess a lot of these also fuck with the phone. So there's going to be some cascade tracking. Let's see what that is. Realistically, that's obviously going to be an issue. So I suspect if I would have, paid memberships, just like the other app has, give them money, give them all the ads. Uh, so basically, obviously, what I'm saying, again, this is older app. So yes, the House Committee on Homeland Security are asking to remove all these fucking apps. And there's two schools of thought. Can people really handle all the information without fucking going off the deep end? And unfortunately, it's been demonstrated even before the days of tracking apps and all that. It's been demonstrated that people just cannot handle all this information without, without losing it. Use a classic example. A registry. Use that one. Um, you look at it, you see who's on there, and we all know they like to go and harass those people. Uh, those people, but that's just the unfortunate nature of that. People just can't handle in this basically this magnifies that. Uh, this is what they're saying. Uh, yeah, so Apple Ice Block. Google said Ice Block is never available in the Play Store. I just kind of saw it. Unless it was a different one. But it's kind of fucked up that they're blaming devices for people's actions. And, I gotta be honest, I don't know how useful they are, to be honest. Realistically, all you gotta do is just, fucking look out the window. I mean, look, I mean, if you know somebody who's here, undocumented, um, and I'm a school thought, and you got to hide that person, protect that person, then that's on you. I mean, you don't really need an app, to help you with that. But what I think this is doing is basically, according to the Attorney General Pam Bondi that people who get these apps, they're gonna find out where ICE agents are moving, which I don't know how the fuck those apps even work. And they're under the impression people are just gonna fucking start jumping ICE agents. Whether the ICE agents you see in the media with masks are actual ICE agents or just Proud Boys, that's a whole nother topic in itself. So yeah, that's a classic example. So let's move on to the next example that I have here. So now apparently Chat GPT and AI accused of rolling murder in a lawsuit. So apparently the alleged chatbot was roll in her murder in its mother's estate. So apparently somebody decided to interact with his mother. She said, "You listen to him." So they take an argument. Yeah, shit parents, but still, uh, if the defendant in this case, well, he's probably not going to have a good sentence. After Chat GPT that to his delusions. And this is the problem. We're relying way too much on technology. And there's two schools of thought. We're relying way too much on this stuff to help us get through the day. See what this fucking uh, AI girlfriend app says. I'm not going to get into that either. Um, but I will say apps like that, they're going to make people more and more isolated. I guess they're not isolated as it is. People don't even want to talk to each other. So it's the first of its kind. So again, so yeah, it looks like a young Chuck Norris. What the fuck? So, and then there's the other. No robot graphic on. It's more like Total Recall graphic. So wow, I mean, like this is the problem with all this fucking stuff. That people just can't handle it. But at the end of the day, why the fuck are we blaming this stuff? Yeah, it's not whole guns anymore, right? Which I'm sure if you did use a gun, they'd probably blame that. Um, so it's almost like, let's see here. Okay, I'm not going to read it word for word here, but you get my point. People just can't. We're just not ready for all this technology. And we haven't been ready for many forms of technology, since it really started to take over. Like, what video games were they blaming in the 80s, early 90s? I think once they started going like 3D, games like Doom and Quake and all that, that's when you really started to hear that. Of course, that was a lot of first really debuted. Um, we really started hearing about stuff in the video age. Oh, and by the way, Marilyn Manson was also blamed for having an influence on the college shootings. So I digress. So this is see if there's going to be any other. I probably won't have any other examples. Right? No one will be fucking. This is okay. So here's another one. We're giving all the names of all the tribes. And apparently, not going to come up with Yeah, probably not gonna find any. I'm not gonna sign trade, but you kind of see my point. Yeah, if you're seeing this browser, that's what's gonna fight. So I can just scroll through here all day, you have all this information. Somebody else doing the same thing and not really know how to process it or how to deal with it. That's just the nature of the beast. There's one other thing I have to check. As a side note, it's learning the mood. I'm just going to click on it, which would be with the Dick Van Dyke. So, as we go today, he's going to make 200. So, here's a little thing to lighten the mood. Yeah, the saying he's 100, even though technically it's not, because his birthday will be hard. But unlike the former president, Jimmy Carter, he's got all of his marbles and obviously very mobile. But I digress. Anyhow, I'll talk to you about this live stream. So I'm going to end the stream and I'm going to grab myself some fucked out because I got to go tomorrow. I'll talk to you.